Hey guys, greetings. Welcome to another episode of Just Thinking. And tonight's topic is about immigration, the immigrants that have flooded Massachusetts and all states that say they have a right to shelter. And I'm just going to share my feelings, my own personal opinion and feelings, which do not reflect anyone that I associate with, any company that I do business with, or anyone. I'm just exercising my freedom of rights, my freedom of speech. So, there has been a myth, and the reason I say that it is a myth because this myth has been perpetuated forever and ever in the black community. And the myth is that the welfare department was created to destroy black families and take the male out the home. But if you know, like I know, and you've been on welfare, you know that's a mother lie. Peeps these. The immigrants are coming here with their spouse and their child, getting social services, getting shelter, getting housing. Like, even though their journey has been long and we don't know why they have come to our country, it's still people that has been hurting forever still here down and out. And they seem, for whatever reason, to be bypassed. And the newcomers seem to be receiving all the assistance. And that just doesn't make sense to me. How come you have people that you neglect, that is living on the sidewalk, taking drugs, basically killing themselves, and there's absolutely no help for them? But then people who travel thousands of miles away get hospital services, Uber services. I mean, whole families are being picked up and taken to whatever location they're going to via Uber. Food, okay? If you are an American woman and you are in these streets with your children, something's wrong with you, because I bear witness that I see the welfare department is full of Haitian immigrants migrating, I don't know from where, but they definitely are coming here and they are utilizing the services. There is absolutely no shelters in Massachusetts. I cannot get into any shelter. If my daughter doesn't come by and rescue me from the streets, they don't even have an outreach service here in Massachusetts for all its homeless people. There's only 2 shelters in Boston for women, and I am barred from each one. And I'm not barred officially, like my name's on the paper and I'm barred. One I refuse to go back to because of the incident of me being maced there. And I feel like in that dwelling and in that setting, they will try to kill me. I am not playing with my life like that, especially when I know what happened. Especially after I got maced. So that one's it for me because I can't carry weapons and I can't mace anyone back. Okay? So, and it's just my safety. Am I safe there because I speak up for an individual that really is defenseless and can't speak up for themselves? But you know, everything is a lesson, like the motivational doctor said. You know, and I learned, but I don't think I'll ever learn cowardly. I can't be nobody's coward. It's just not gonna happen because my soul's like, girl, you know, you saw that shit. You know that wasn't right. You know, I don't. Hey, don't expose my eyes to anything. I don't want to see that. What's wrong with you? I go around taking pictures of flowers. I take pictures of the sky, stupid things that, you know, don't move and that, you know, pretty much don't talk back to me or give me issues and problems. Stop playing. I don't have to feed it either. But back to what I was saying as far as I just shared a video on my community post. And that video was about how the state of Philadelphia's hospitals were dumping people, not treating them. Even when they say they're sick, they can't breathe, they need help. It's falling on deaf ears. And I think that's global, not just in PA. When people's like, I got pain or whatever, they're putting you out on the streets telling you there's nothing wrong with you. But I thought the first rule of thumb was listen to your body. And then after all of these examinations that cost thousands of dollars be performed, come to find out there is something wrong with your body. And you know what? Some of those hospitals be getting sued for doing things that are inhumane. And that is inhumane. When money is over people's health, something's wrong. Something is wrong. Money should never triumph over life. And I mean that to the point where you're neglecting your humane duty. Your humane duty to be like, you know what, something's wrong with this person, to be aware. What is the purpose of all these campaigns? See something, say something. What is the purpose of that? Real time. Before it knocks on your door. What is the purpose of that? And the lady who reported the dumping in Philly, she was a police officer. And they got rid of her for saying something. So, you know, I got maced for saying something. This type of stuff is serious, serious business. I mean, being quiet, not interfering in people's business, when you're sticking up for someone who's defenseless and elderly, and you know you're respecting them and trying to assist them and guide them, you're interfering when it is against them. Meanwhile, all you're doing is advocating. They know, crafty people know how to switch the game on you and make you feel like even talking, you having your own thought and opinion in America is wrong. They do that stupid shit and then look at you like it's you. Like you got the three motherfucking heads. So we ain't gonna swear, but I just did. So, let me check these fries, guys. Silly of me to think that I could ever have you for my God. How I love you. How I want you. I am so perplexed in this lifetime about me really trying to assist people, because the way I feel and what happened to me and me seeing that type of stuff on television, but it actually happening to me. Like, I really got maced 21st century. Like, that is no joke. I stayed in the emergency room for 5 hours seeking medical treatment. And I tell you something, that was in my hair, all on my skin, and my back. It was burning. I was like, oh, in my eye. The milk helped to my eye, but whew, my skin was burning for like 24 hours after that incident, after medical treatment. So that mace ain't no joke. They tried to downplay it like, yeah, 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 nah. I felt that. I felt like, what's his name? Soldier Boy. Okay? That shit is no joke. But back to what I was saying. It's a big injustice going on under the sun with immigration and Americans. Americans being put way, way below the totem pole. Americans being denied services or having to go through so much red tape and paperwork that they give up. And a lot of these Americans are disabled. Mentally, they may suffer anxiety or depression, and really things is jumbled in their head. I don't know what symptoms they're experiencing. However, there are 50 million Americans on Social Security receiving disability. That's a lot of people. But our elderly population, they up in these goddamn nursing home, not nursing home, shelters, public shelters for anybody, all types of people. They're up in there amongst the worst of the worst, no peaceful setting. If they're sick, they just gotta be grateful that they're around people and got a bed. The other place I went to, when you wonder why people is angry and upset, it's because they literally sleep on a floor. I mean, these are grown people, nowhere to go, men. And you really think why they don't want to kill you when you smiling, when you happy, when you jovial around here? Because behind closed doors and when the lights are off, these people are really sleeping on the floor. Like, we're not like, oh, I'm playing this shit, I'm gonna fake it till I make it, I got somewhere to go. This is some real things happening out here, and it's businesses that are making thousands of dollars for people to sleep on the floor. Like, I guess get out the street, but you're not getting in no bed. And that is your last resort before going to the streets, which is concrete or grass. People really be sleeping like hardcore because they don't get no rest in those places. They're just staying out of the streets. I mean, you should tour your city and see what's going on and see things like maybe you can create some type of business that can assist them. Remember that guy Rollo? Rollo, I want to look up his story. There was a guy from Atlanta named Rollo, and he opened up a halfway house for all the people that would get out of jail, the young men that would get out of jail and had no place to go. he would let them go there to the halfway house, and they would still operate in that even after he was incarcerated. I don't know if what's going on with him, but I would like to look up his story because that's real major. And you know what messed him up? He wasn't legit. He didn't know how to flip it and go legit. You know what I mean? But he was he was his heart was in the right place and his mind was in the right place, but he didn't have that support to navigate him, to really show him how to go from a drug dealer man to straight legit businessman. You know what I mean? Like a gangster to a businessman. Get out the game. You know, be thankful, repent, get out the game, and keep it pushing. But he didn't have no one to believe in him like that. But I liked what he did. I liked his mission. I liked that he was moved by, I guess, the treatment, because I think that's how most businesses are incorporated, or how most people come up with great businesses, because they've been shitted on by these other businesses or people that operate these business and try to kick them or do something that is unethical and unmoral to them, because they have that access to them through that company or business. I tell you something, give me 1 second. Go down to your local neighborhood welfare office. See what is happening and who was down there. But back to what I'm saying. The whole reason I'm having this live is to explain to a lot of people about the myth that the welfare department was created to tear black families up. That is not true. I have seen Puerto Ricans go to the welfare department with their wives, with their, spouse. I have seen these Haitians now going with their children and their wife and their husband if they're married, because Lord knows, is the paperwork real? I mean, come on. When you're fleeing, like, do you really have time to grab paperwork? I'm just saying that part, you know what I mean? But for some for some reason, it's so weird because basically so many businesses are understaffed. They just gave all the immigrants their driver's license. They gave them permission to drive in certain states, okay, and to acquire a license. I mean, they're going to be the new American workers. When you look at it, it's going to be the Spanish people, okay? Because everyone else own things. And it's going to be the Haitian people. And in my city, they already is like a lot already. I know they came to the supermarket deep. Next thing you know, it was like all ran by Haitians. The next thing was the MBTA, the transportation system, all ran by Haitians. The train, everything, all ran by Haitians. So we know who is going to be the new workers that will be serving people in positions of authority. And they're giving them that opportunity too. They made it hard for black people. Let's just keep it real. Like their people said, their journey was long. Treat them with love, compassion, dignity, and respect. And we don't get none of that. None of that love, none of that compassion, none of that dignity, none of that respect. We crumped over. We walking around with our ass all out, daylight in the public. Police just letting you too. Police is letting men walk around showing their ass. As long as their front is covered, police is actually letting men under the guise of mental illness, and they ain't no doctor. But something is wrong if you out in the public showing your ass. I do agree. Your thinking is off. But neither one of us is our doctors to even make that assessment. But something is definitely wrong. Okay? But you got sense enough to cover the front. That part. I mean, the brothers are stepping in to actually tell these men, yo, check yourself. And I like that. I'm like, round of applause, encore, step up, thank you. Cause you know, I don't want to be getting knocked upside my head. I already got maced and shit. I'm like, oh Lord, knocked upside my head too, girl. You better mind your business, okay? You know, little short fry around here ain't got no hands. Stop playing with me. But people really was telling us that. And now that I see all of these other races just going to the welfare with their children, especially the Haitians that's coming here for miles, they're encouraging and inspiring. But all I could say to every American man and woman whom have a child together, you better take your ass down to that welfare office too. Get that help, motherfucker, shit, because it's out here. They in shelters. They got the baby. They getting the food stamps. They eating. I can't even eat. My paperwork is so jammed up in America. I can't get none of them free phones. I can't get no food stamps. I'm still waiting for a goddamn decision. Everything is paperwork, paperwork, paperwork. Meanwhile, they all over here. They ain't breaking sweat. Because you know they don't complain. They act pretend like they don't speak English. But their hands is always out. They always yesing. And you know what? They find the places to go. But when I call for shelter, you know what they say? Nothing's available. So how you letting everybody in then? How do you have shelter for everyone else? I don't have no problem with anyone coming to this country and wanting a better life. But the way it's going down, the way I see it, it's like y'all is just fucking taking over. Taking over areas, taking over well operating areas, areas with transportation, areas with stores, you know, everything. Location is all about access, accessibility. High rises are being built, niggas ain't in them. Schools going up, niggas ain't in them. All they didn't buy brought up all the property, all the property. You cannot really rent a property in these areas. Even though when you go looking for apartments in this area, it's over 3 motherfucking thousand of them bitches. So I see God gotta touch you too with the good mighty hand and show you, because the way I feel black people has been played through their plight and their journey in America, it's like, had we not fought, we couldn't walk down some of these streets. They wouldn't be able to walk down some of these streets. They wouldn't be able to go to school. Our journeys are different right here in America. And they don't be with us because they didn't fight with us. They come over here, they say here, they look down on us like, oh, we're the problem. You getting a handout. You getting help. It's a difference. Okay? Somebody's showing you what to do, and at every avenue you getting a yes. You understand? Like they didn't experience what our descendants or what we experience in America. They didn't lose children to these streets in America. They didn't get flooded with crack. Even in their poor state, coming from Jamaica, they didn't get flooded with crack. Their communities wasn't destroyed. Their language wasn't, they weren't cut off from their ancestors to know their language, their heritage, their lineage. Those people still know their people from 3 and 4 and 5 generations. We don't. That's why when people say they're black too, no, they are colored. Yes, they are colored. But they're not black. Because you know what? They will get away with what a black man wants. Black men, as long as he out here selling drugs, showing his ass now, like straight out, just showing booty cheeks. Showing booty cheeks, no problemo. Walking around crazy and insane and acting that way, he is allowed. As long as he's selling drugs, destroying his community, talking bad or whatever, he is allowed. As long as he's playing the look, looking like he's concerned what's happening in the neighborhood. See, some people can be around you but be so far from you, disconnected, not even relate, not have any compassion, not just, it's not their, but they have trained themselves to be numb to that scene, to those people. They have learned the game, the ish game, the boo-ish game, the get your data game, but no real results. Because there's no way that people can come here from thousands of miles, pick up and do well like nothing ever happened, kids happy, everyone happy, husband happy, but meanwhile, you still struggling to, one, get into housing. Housing is the number one necessity and resource you need to even sustain life. You don't know it until you outside of it, when you don't have the housing. But you be so off because your sleep pattern, your sleep, the mental illness with others, that you like can literally catch cases being around certain people and environments. Because shit, you ain't gonna let a motherfucker just go outside your head now. I mean, you got issues, I got them too. You got issues, you get issues, because we all got issues. But that don't give you the right to attack an individual, or it doesn't give me the right to attack an individual. But we all got issues. But I don't want anyone to ever hide behind their issues to think that they have the right to harm me. No. But I just said this whole live period was to inform people that the welfare department was not created to destroy black families and to break them up and get the men out the house. Because there are families now that are going to the welfare office with their child and their spouse, their husband, or their wife. Sometimes we gotta get out the goddamn excuses and get into the reality. And if you think I'm lying, go visit your local goddamn neighborhood welfare department, see who's lined up. I'm not lying. It's getting real serious in America for Americans. And that's why you see so much homelessness. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all getting money for the cause but not paying into the cause or doing the job for the cause. Minimal people for all the thousands of dollars you get. There's no real time results. You should have more than minimal people receiving services when if you had really addressed this, it wouldn't have never got this far. If you had really addressed this with all the money you was getting instead of trying to for a business like someone said, if you start researching this type of stuff, this business and housing and shelter, someone said very lucrative business. You can retire off that. You could kick your feet up off of the shelter business. And it's beds. So I think we need to come to some type of conclusion, not just buying land, but what are we going to start putting on this land, like tiny villages, like little homes, like shacks, anything that can help with homelessness and get you some money around here and help build communities and stop homelessness and be a part of the solution. Because it's not just having money and buying land. It's what you want to do with that land. It's time to start building up communities that serve people of color and truth. You know? But all are welcome because we're all of the XY chromosome. Okay? From the beginning. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.